It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out of my mind. It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. I'm putting you out, trash day. I'm putting you out of my mind. Now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up the house. I'm taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage.
It starts with some beer, so you shouldn't have fear. Two garbage guys with facts, but they both still have tact. It's that time at last for the best damn podcast. It's Can Crusher Day!
And welcome to Can Crushers. Mark Martinez flying solo because sometimes life just hits you and bites you in the ass, and everything gets pushed behind. Paul's on his way to his other job. We're running late on our other job. It's just one of those weeks that, we're packing to be getting ready to head down to Kentucky to hang out at Davis Arena with the OVW guys. Beforehand, right off the get, I do want to send out well wishes to Chad Miller of OVW. Had a little procedure done today. Hope all is well with Chad. I reached out to him earlier today before he went through it. He's in great spirits, and after I get done recording this and doing everything else that I have to do before I bit and piece this together, I will make sure I call Chad and find out how everything is going with him. Guys, what a crazy week of wrestling. Let's just get in. We'll go right to Money in the Bank, then OVW. We'll keep the same format, kinda, and I'll just run with it. But holy schmolies, Money in the Bank on Sunday night. What a freaking show besides the ending. And I know everybody's going to say that. And if you watch Money in the Bank, good. And if you didn't, go back and watch it. It was really good. Besides, the English professor will touch on it later, that, it wasn't 17 and a half hours long. It actually ended earlier than usual at 10:30, 10:40, with me watching. I don't know how far I was behind on the stream or whatever, but what a great show from top to almost bottom. It was unbelievable. And even the pre-show started off with Daniel and Rowan against the Usos, and the Usos calling them SpongeBob and Patrick. That was a great little skit there. The match was a little sloppy for me. It really was. And they keep pushing us down that, the Usos are from Raw. What happens if they win? My problem with this whole Usos, Daniel Bryan, Rowan match is I swore last week they said it was going to be for the Smackdown Tag Team Champions. And that's what we have written in our notes and everything. And I'm like, man, the Usos won the Smackdown Tag Team Champions because they won on the pre-show. So what? And then no titles changed hands because the Usos ended up winning. So I just don't know if they dropped that or if it was a misplay earlier on in the week or something. I really don't know what the heck happened. But nonetheless, the Usos just show that they're a dominant tag team. To start the main show for Money in the Bank, it is the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and I thought it was great. I really did. I don't know if the Mella thing was planned where she was injured. Her and Mandy got in a little scuff that battled over into SmackDown, but more on that later. Very, very serious today. Nobody to throw back and forth punchlines with, so serious podcast today. Unless I pick on myself, I don't know. Unless a song pops into my head, but nonetheless, I don't know if the Mella thing, her being injured because she got hit by a ladder was real. They really got me on that, but she did come back. She really didn't do much. A couple questions I do have. Why was Dana Brooke just swinging from the case? At one point, she just swung from the rope, the wire holding the case up why. While you're swinging with one hand, unlatch it. Unlatch the damn thing and hold on to it. And then when you get back to the ladder, just climb down. You would have been the Money in the Bank winner. That's my thoughts, right? I don't know. Ember Moon's RKO from the top of the ladder into the ring was phenomenal. As I said, Mella returns but didn't do much. Sonya took Mella out. And then Sonya got in the match, kind of carrying Mandy Rose up to the top. And Bayley gets up there and pushes him off. And I said this last week, and Paul will probably reiterate it next week when we talk to him from Kentucky via Skype, because that's the way. Next week's going to be a little bit weird, but I'll get to that. Bayley just comes in, pushes them both off, and wins. We predicted that. We really did. We knew Bayley was going to win, and I want to say we really did know Bayley was going to win. Not that we had inside information or anything, but we're all on board that this was maybe Sasha's spot. Dana Brooke literally took her spot, but I think this was going to be Sasha winning that, and now WWE, as Can Crushers are going to say and stick with this, they're showing Sasha that, look, Bayley is now you. She's not going to be called the legit boss or anything, but Bayley's push right now is going to be you, and I completely believe that wholeheartedly. I really do. So I don't know. Nonetheless, I'm a hugger. I'm happy that Bales won. Me and her go way back. Martinez blood running through and through. Next matchup is Rey Mysterio Jr. and Joe for the U.S. title. And Joe got bloodied fast. So I don't know if the ref called this or if it was supposed to be a complete botch, because between 3 or 4 Can Crushers, we were all texting each other, what the hell happened? Joe's shoulder was higher than my knee. He was never really pinned. The ref counted it, maybe because he was told to take it home because too much blood, especially early. Joe's face got blown up, folks. Blown up. I don't know where it's going. I understand you're keeping it kid-friendly and everything, but if it happens in a match, have them roll outside, wipe off, do whatever if that's what you're concerned about, because this whole U.S. title run for Joe has been a mockery. In my eyes, it has been a mockery. It's not been anything great. This whole shtick with Rey Mysterio has been garbage. And now we find out Rey is hurt. We don't know what's going on with the U.S. title. Is Rey going to have to give it up? Is Dom going to fight for Rey? Joe wants it back. I mean, there's still a storyline going on, but the matches are not producing anything. Between both matches at WrestleMania and then a month and a half later at Money in the Bank, you're having 2 matches that lasted 5 minutes. Roundabout. Don't quote me on that. English professor is going to call me out. But what? What's going on? Just carry a damn match. These two are both great workers. I just don't understand what's going on. The match that pissed me off, more or less, was Miz and Shane. This match in a cage, chairs got involved, the cage got involved. I thought this was going to be the end-all. It should have been the end-all. In the way that Shane won, I'd rather have him just lay out Miz with the chair, just pummel him over and over and over. And, oh, yeah, you get the picture. Just lay him out and then just walk out of the cage, strutting like his old man. But to win because the Miz ripped your shirt off and you fell halfway down the cage, I just don't know. I don't want to keep going storylines, writers, but this doesn't really end it. It doesn't end anything for me. Nothing for me. And that's who I'm concerned about. I don't care if the English professor liked it. I don't care if Paul liked it. I don't call him. For me. Yeah, I know they're not writing just for me, but nothing has ended. Just because Shane won the cage match now this way, it does nothing. Because he's not laid out. Do you understand? That there wasn't really I guess if you want to say there was a true winner because he fell out of the cage, whatever. But it's a cage match. Somebody is supposed to be laid out. Why have a cage match? Why not have a tuxedo match where you're ripping your clothes off like they did back then? Put them in bra and panties. The booking with Shane and Miz has been horrendous. I hated the WrestleMania match where they fell into a pit of foam and boxes and a big poof of dust came up. These matches have been garbage. But I'm still happy about Money in the Bank. Just some of the things just twisted me. But I didn't mind the match itself. There was brutality. There was fighting. It was just good. The endings are what pisses me off, folks. It really is just the endings. And I guess that's the whole part of the match. But next matchup is Tony Nese and Daivari. This is a hard-hitting match. Again, 205. Don't get a lot of time to really watch 205. But when we do, they always put on a great show. Nese keeps his titles in a hard-hitting match. Where will this go? No clue. Next up is Lacey against Becky, and the English professor is spot on. I hated Lacey. I hated Lacey for the 3 months that she walked down, ordered a bag of popcorn, waved to Otis, blew kisses to, Pat Lupino up at the rafters at WrestleMania. I hated Lacey's shtick. But now that she's in the ring, and now that she is putting on good matches, she carries herself. I like what they did here at Money in the Bank. I like that Becky kept the title against a young upstart, Lacey Evans. Lacey can now continue this battle with Becky a couple months. We've said this. There's no reason to blow through storylines. Becky now has Charlotte off her plate, and she can continue with Lacey. There's a couple more pay-per-views and SummerSlam. They can have something good, something that we can all sink our teeth into with this Lacey and Becky storyline. Lacey just had her down, but the ref was nowhere to be found. Finally, Becky just rolls it over and gets a disarmer on her and taps. A few mistakes all around in Money in the Bank. But if we just watch wrestling to watch wrestling and love wrestling as we were the 8, 9, 10-year-old children that we didn't rip everything apart, again, Money in the Bank far exceeded WrestleMania. And it's probably going to far exceed the Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia or whatever they're calling it. So Bex thought she was going to have a little bit of a break before her Flair match. Flair comes barreling out and says, and Flair says, we're going to wrestle right now. All over the place. This was a match. Bex trying to show the heart that she has, and she is just going to keep both titles. She's going to be Becky Two Belts, and it's just going to happen that way. Well, it doesn't happen as Lacey makes her way back out, hits a big woman's right on Becky. Becky gets to her feet a little bit, takes a big boot from Charlotte. 1, 2, 3. Charlotte is now a 9-time champion. More on that in a minute because I'm so sick of it. But Lacey and Flair continue to beat the snot out of Becky, and you hear Bayley's music coming, and she is ready for a big fight, and she's bringing her case with her. I thought, oh man, she's going to cash in. Who is she actually going to cash in on? Is she going to lay Becky out, pin her since she's already down, or what? Well, she helps kind of clear Lacey out of the ring. Flair gets thrown into the corner. Bayley rolls up Flair. 1, 2, 3. Bayley in the bank cashes in, and now she is the SmackDown Women's Champion. And congratulations to Bayley, the first ever Grand Champion for women, holding the NXT title, the Raw title, the SmackDown title, and the tag team title. So that's something that you can hang your hat on, Bayley. I love it. I've always been in Bayley's corner. So yeah, I'm pumped. So far, it's going great. She cashes in and winning. Next up, well, wait. Let me rewind and talk. Why have Flair win for the 9th time? She literally held the title for, I don't know, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and it counts as a title. By the time Flair's career is done, she's going to have 57 championships. And I know that's where they're going. They're going to push that. She's going to exceed her father in time. And is that what we want? Because Flair started just a few years ago, folks, and she's got 9 titles already. Does she need to take a step back? I think she does. But for the next little bit, you're going to see Flair against Bayley battling. And I would really be upset. I really would. If Flair takes the title from Bayley. Can we get somebody else in the picture? I'm happy Lacey's in the picture now on Raw. How about Ember? How about Nekka Cross? Anybody. Just get Flair out of the picture. She doesn't need a title. She's Randy Orton. She doesn't need a title to be relevant. 9 in a few years is just getting disgusting. Really is. Next matchup is Elias against Roman. After a guitar in the back, Elias, who the heck is Elias? Elias makes his way out to the ring, and he doesn't think he's going to have a match. He doesn't. So he just starts strumming away on his new electric guitar, singing yada yada yada. And all of a sudden, Roman comes out, Superman punch, match is over. He made it up that quick, and just another match that it's a throwaway match. We had time. This match could have went longer, but we didn't. We just have throwaway matches every once in a while, and they're just not worth it. Great match. AJ Styles against Seth Rollins. This was back and forth. I didn't know. I really didn't know. I thought, wow, they're going to take it off of Seth already, and they're going to give it to AJ, and I'm fine with that. AJ is, air quotes, phenomenal. So it's great. I love that they're doing this. And at one point, at the end of the match, after Seth gets the big win, I was like, somebody's turning heel. Somebody's going to clock the other person. Somebody's going to punch one in the face. Oh my God, they shook hands? Wait, they shook hands? They had a respect? Wait, where is this going? Does this lead to something down the line? Oh my God, what's going on? I liked it. I really did. I'm telling you, all these little bits and pieces I liked. This pay-per-view, again, I'm going to beat a dead horse, exceeded WrestleMania. It really did. So we have a surprise match. The Lucha House Party is going to have a 6-man match, and they're out celebrating, and here comes Lars. And Lars just rips them apart. He gets hit in the head, maybe by a piñata, maybe whatever, so he's bleeding a little bit. He's bleeding, and nothing happens there. It's just a little blood running down his face from his bald-ass head. Nonetheless, he dismantles the Lucha House Party. All right, great. Can we have Lars in a match now, please? Against anybody. Do the whole Ryback, the whole Braun Strowman, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 25-on-1, whatever. Put him in a real match. We're tired of the squashes. He comes out, he runs roughshod through everybody, and that's it. Get him in a match. Let's see what he can really do. Get him in a storyline besides just beating people up. It gets old. KO versus Kofi. This was a nice match. I would really like to see this continue. And I think we maybe not. A lot of stuff happened that we'll talk about on SmackDown. This was a great match. And I thought, holy cow, again, I was really I had the Galbos over again, and I thought, holy cow, KO's going to take this off. And this is going to set the WWE Universe on fire. They are going to go, holy crap, already? Off of Kofi? What are they doing? But KO is the perfect person to do it against because he's dastardly. He's the guy. He doesn't really care what you think. But they don't. They leave with Kofi. He gets a nice little win. Again, at least he's building something on this WWE title run that he has. So we'll see where it goes from there. But I don't know. I don't know how much longer Kofi is going to have this. Because in the gist of it, what is he doing? He's celebrating, he's partying, but his matches, he's not been dominant at all. He's the underdog heavyweight champ. That wasn't do. That was whatever. Underdog, you know the cartoon. He's the underdog champion that continues to barely make it by. And now comes the worst part of the night. Well, not yet. Not yet. Because Finn Balor and Ricochet and Drew and Baron and Almas and Randy. Sammy didn't make it out. Did not make it out to the Money in the Bank match. He got preoccupied. And they thought it was Braun, so Braun was thrown out, but Braun had nothing to do with it. So Ali, Ricochet, Drew, Baron, and Almas and Randy put on one hell of a show. Spot of the night for me, folks, was Almas sunset flipping Finn onto the ladder, and then he bounced off the ladder again because it bounced off the rope, and holy cow, these guys put their bodies on the line. I don't know. I'm speechless. I really am. The way that they did everything, it told a great story. Everybody touched the case probably at least once. Everybody had their chance to win the case. Everybody fiddle-farted around with the case. Nobody can climb a ladder quick. Nobody can climb a ladder quick. Why can you not climb a ladder quick? Get up the ladder. Grab it. Stop playing with the case. And it all comes to a head when Ali has minutes to grab this case. And then we hear Brock Lesnar's music. And if I didn't have guests at the house, I would have turned the damn thing off. I really would have. I would have said, well, see where this is going. Good night, folks. Have a good weekend. But I continued to watch it. I continued to watch Brock climb the ladder slowly and grab the case. And now Brock Lesnar is back into our households once again. This guy sucks. He needs to leave. He's not doing anything for the talent of the WWE. And we just got to get rid of Brock Lesnar. He's more of a problem for the talent. I don't know if the talent is also fed up with this. I would like to reach out to some of them to see, but there's a lot of legality in the mix of that. For the WWE, they just can't come aboard Can Crushers and say, yeah, I hate Brock Lesnar. I say it. The English professor's probably going to say it. Paul's going to say it. If we talk to Colin or little Alex Galbo, they'd pretty much say it too. It just is getting annoying with Brock Lesnar winning this. Burying some of the talent. So that's my shtick on Money in the Bank, and we'll see where it goes from there. But overall, it was a great show. It really was. It did so much. On to the bet. Paul and I had everything except 2 matches. Paul picked Shane. He got that right. And Paul picked the Usos. He got that right. So I owe beer. So we will have some nice, refreshing beer when I get back from Kentucky in a couple weeks. And we'll go from there. But coming up next is the OVW report. And it's going to be on OVW 1031 Hold on, folks. It's right around the corner. So, OVW 1031. Oh, my God. What another great show. These guys continue to put out great shows. I don't know if I've told you. I don't know if I said it, but I will be in Kentucky at OVW next week. We're going down Saturday. We're going to spend the whole week down there. We're going to see the TV taping. We're going to see just a ton of stuff. We're going to be down there for the Combine, guys. We'll be Facebook Living the Combine. Hopefully, we'll just be grabbing anybody down there saying, hey, come on the show, recording some stuff. They're using the hopper, doing stuff, like I said, on Facebook Live. Maybe we can grab Al again. Make sure we get our boy Chad Miller and anybody that wants to come up and talk wrestling, get them on Can Crushers and just bring the OVW love to everyone while we are in Kentucky. The family's already excited, but we can get into that. You'll be seeing it next week. We're just excited. So before I get punched by Paul, let's just see what happens. The show started with a recap of SNS, and Smooth was pretty dastardly. He was. He ripped off Michael Hayes' prosthetic leg that Saturday night and beat him with it. He got disqualified and kept the title. Well, here we go. Now we're actually live, OVW 1031, and Smooth starts the show off. He's gloating. He's inside having a smooth celebration, whatever. Just cocky that he still has the title. Well, Dean Hill comes out and says, you know what? You were in a gauntlet. In gauntlets, there's no champion's advantage. You know, you could lose a title ways via countout, via disqualification. And Smooth is like, all right, that's great to know for going down the line. Next time that, I'm in a gauntlet match, whatever, I don't care, whatever. So Dean's like, no. It meant all the time. So Dean Hill snatches the heavyweight championship away from Smooth. Well, he really doesn't snatch it away from him. He says, listen, you have seconds to give me the title or you'll be off the OVW roster and our attorneys will be calling you to get the title back from you. Well, Smooth is smart at least. He hands the title over to Dean Hill, which then Dean Hill says, congratulations, Michael Hayes, you're the new OVW champion. Hayes is like, this is cool, I'm glad, I love it, I'm a champ, but I don't want to win it this way, so I will kick rocks and say, I will give you a rematch tonight, Mr. Justin Smooth. So we're going to have an OVW heavyweight champion match on TV, which does not happen often, folks. So if there's one reason why to watch OVW 1031, is this. They're also recapped SNS with Cash Flow and Sam, and it showed Sam picking up the upset victory over Cash Flow because Sam was just reinstated last week. Finally, we get to the TV gauntlet, and the TV gauntlet's insane. Jay Bradley, former Can Crusher alum, comes up, and he's going to take on Sam Thompson. And Sam's using his quickness, almost gets some pins, but Bradley's strength is just way too much. He hits him with the boomstick clothesline for the win. Sam's gone. Next up is a new guy to OVW, Corey Storm. Storm's quick. He's just flying all over the place, beating the heck out of Bradley. Bradley does get some strength, kind of gets it back, but Bradley tries for the boomstick. Storm ducks, and then boom, rolls up Jay Bradley and gets to the 1-2-3. So upset victory there. Nigel Winters, guys. You guys always think this. I've had a couple people ask, is it Nigel McGuinness? No, it's not Nigel McGuinness. It's Nigel Winters. It's from OVW, you dorks. I don't know. I was trying to think of something funny. All right, I'm moving along. Nigel comes out and he does a monkey flip into a pin. No-go. Storm kind of gets out of it. Nigel tries it again, but boom. He ends up pinning Storm ends up pinning Nigel off of a monkey flip. It was really cool. Isaiah, the Hood Ninja, is back. He's taking on Storm for the next match. Storm was super kicked out of the ring, and he was just laying there for a minute, and all of a sudden he gets up and he just recoups and he gets his speed going, and boom, he gets another win. He's racking victories up. This is his third one now. But out comes Drew Hernandez. Drew, the TV champion going into this. Drew is just playing with him at first, just kind of pushing him around. Storm almost got the victory. Storm tries for an awesome Frankensteiner, but Drew is just so tough. He holds him up and then boom, hits him with that power bomb. Drew Hernandez continues to dominate in this TV gauntlet, but in the same aspect, Drew Hernandez continues to get the last person out. So let's switch this around. Let's make Drew have to run through the gauntlet, or throw him in the middle, because he's always been the last person out. The young talents, though, in OVW recently, Corey Storm, Tony Bizzo, who's now going to be on the shelf for a little bit, and my boy, Alex Zane. There's a lot of young talent in OVW right now, along with others that have been there, like the Nigel Winners, like the Chase Destinies, like the KTDs, like Dimes. I mean, there's just so much young talent in Ohio Valley Wrestling that it's going to blossom. It really is going to blossom more than it is. Have I said that they have a network that's only $4.99 a month and you get all this context plus more, plus the pay-per-views that they show? $4.99 a month, guys. Come on, you should get it. Next matchup is Thunder Kitty versus Valerie Vermin. Valerie, a little bit of a change in the outfits. Kind of definitely breaking away from the It Girls. The downfall is she looks like a female Sparky Plug now, because she's got checkers up and down her sides and something. Valerie, you're more demonic. You're mean. I don't know if checkers is the right thing to do, but nonetheless. Before the match even starts, though, DL3 still trying to get with the Thunder Kitty. He brings her out a birthday cake, starts singing happy birthday, then he breaks down into this nasty rap. DL, I know your boys with Shiloh. I really do know your boys with Shiloh, but Shiloh's definitely the better rapper. DL3 does give Thunder Kitty the cake, but Valerie tries ripping it away from her. She gets a face full of cake. Thunder Kitty rolls in, gets the 1, 2, 3. DL3 asks again for a date, and she says, all right, fine. I don't know if that's a yes. Don't know if it's a no, but it's an all right, fine. So DL3 gonna hang out with the kitty. Finally, we have the main event. It's Smooth against Hayes for the OVW Heavyweight Championship. And I'll tell you, Michael Hayes with these rapid-fire headbutts to the chest, unbelievable. He doesn't give Smooth an inch to get away, and he just keeps beating the snot out of him. During the break, though, because there was a little bit of a break, Smooth got control. I don't know if it was dastardly or not, but they just said he underwhelming tactics, just a bad. Smooth is just, since he's been on the show, he's really just changed into a tool. He's really not a nice guy anymore. On the show, he was at least trying to be nice. Now he's just a dick, is what I'm going to say. Justin Smooth, we loved you. Now you're gloating. You're devious. I don't like this new character. The powerful Trinidad Triton that was proud to be from Trinidad and not gloat over every victory or cheat or bend the rules or do whatever. No, Justin. Nonetheless, all hell breaks loose in this. First ref gets knocked out. The second ref comes in, gets knocked out. 5 refs were in this match that have been taken out from kicks to the head, running into them, just randomness. Finally, a masked star comes in and hits a stunner or maybe a change maker on Smooth. The first ref does wake up, and ends up DQing Hayes, but he still keeps the title. It wasn't a gauntlet match, so Michael Hayes is your heavyweight champion at the end of OVW 1031. Justin Smooth gets the win on the night. God, it's great. It really is great. Listen, we are going to take a quick break. We're going to hear from Al Snow and Collar and Elbow because we love Collar and Elbow. And then we'll be right back.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
So off to Monday Night Raw, and I'm sure in my OVW report, which is recorded actually way before Wednesdays, I brought up Paul's name, or I've made fun of him, or kind of made a joke that we'll be back, and this, that, and here. Well, Paul's not here. He's not. That's a little behind the curtain that the OVW report's always recorded before Wednesday. So Monday Night Raw is Brock Lesnar starts the show, and he's talking Money in the Bank, and Seth comes out, and Kofi comes out, and we're on our same old 45-minute interviews and promos and this and that, and Brock is saying that he might cash in, he might not cash in, he doesn't know who he's going to cash in at. He'll be around all night because later on tonight and Seth and Kofi have a match and blah, 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 blah. And this has already ruined the Money in the Bank case for me because he doesn't deserve it, nor does he need it. If they're going to have Brock Lesnar in wrestling, he doesn't need a Money in the Bank. He does not need this. He just demands I don't believe I was going to say that. He demands respect. No, he doesn't. He doesn't need to be on this freaking show at all. So Sammy's looking in the back, and he's looking for some help tonight because he knows Braun Strowman's after him, and he runs upon Bob, who Bob has a match against Braun Strowman at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. So he's like, hey, you want to help me out? You know, maybe we can soften up Mr. Braun Strowman a little bit. And Bob's like, nope, see you later. So, again, we head to the match. Sammy runs, and he never gets in the match. He really doesn't. They're fighting everywhere. It just turns out to be nothing. It really doesn't. They run all over the arena. They finally get in the ring. The bell rings, and Braun wins with a big power slam. Nothing. Charlie's in the back. She's going to interview Lars, but we get a 5-minute video about how Lars is the most powerful thing in the world. And before he could answer, the Luchas come out. And guess what, folks? The Luchas kind of get a little redemption, but he runs through them again. Just showing how tough Lars is. I just said it at the start of the show. Put him in a match. Put him in a match because nobody cares to see, one, the Luchas get beat up. Barry Horowitz did say this on the interview. Somebody's got to be that person that takes losses. And I understand that is the Luchas. That's what their job is to do. Lose. To be the enhancement talent. Understand. But put them in a match against Lars. Don't just, they come out, they throw their piñatas, they throw candy, and then that's it. No. Come on. Put them in a match at least. We have Ricochet against Cesaro. Kind of a little bit of a upset that, Ricochet had a good outing at Money in the Bank, and maybe he should have been there. Cesaro goes with a different theme now as well. Ricochet, too many high-risk moves. Too many high risks. Calm down. You're barely moving after that Money in the Bank match. Maybe you should have taken the night off, like Cesaro said. There's times you should lick your wounds. It always doesn't be helpful to be in the ring. Cesaro, big uppercut to him off of the top of the ropes, and he gets the win. Maybe this is the push. Maybe this is the push that we're going to get from Cesaro. And I'm all right with that. I really am. AJ's in the back, and he says, hey, I'm back to square one. The whole thing. We've seen this so many times. He's back to square one. He's going to prove how it is, and he's just going to keep wrestling. Corbin comes back and says, shut up. We've heard this before. And AJ slaps him in the face. Know what it's setting up for, folks? It's setting up for Super Showdown. Have I said that there's a Super Showdown coming up? Well, that's what's going to happen. Roman, then Shane comes out talking about, Roman's yard, but this is my workplace, or my earth, my everything, earth, wind, and fire, whatever you want to say. It's just really... Shane says he's done with Miz. Roman says, I'm done with Elias. Shane says, no, you're not. Roman says, let me fight you. Shane says, I don't want to fight you. You can fight Drew, but I will fight you at Super Showdown. So now we have another match at Super Showdown. And then later on in the night, you get Miz against Drew. What? I thought you just said that Roman is going to fight Drew. Why did Miz fight Drew? Whatever. The Usos in Revival, an old school match with some new moves into it, and I just don't understand where the hell this tag team division across the board is going. We've said this for weeks, but I just want to reiterate, where is this tag team division going? Usos get the win on the pre-show Money in the Bank, but now they're fighting in their division against the Revival, and they can't win. Yep. Long pause. What is going on? Can somebody put together a couple more wins? We have the Firefly Funhouse, and the kids looked a little possessed this week. They really did. You see a little bit more of his outfit. You see a little bit more of what's going on. It's just really weird. Who the hell knows what's going on? I like the skit. I do, but A Moment of Bliss with Nikki Cross and Becky. It sets up for a 6-woman match. It's the Iconics and Lacey Evans against Becky, Nikki Cross, and Alexa Bliss. Alexa doesn't do anything but bring her coffee to the ring. Becky and Nikki get the win. Lacey leaves. The true story I want to pull out of this, two of them, the Iconics have not won a match since winning the tag team championships against Sasha and Bayley. So the women's tag team championship belts are now shit in my book. And I'm more worried about Alexa Bliss. She gets taken off. She's always lingering around, but she's not in matches. She's not doing bumps. Really, what is going on with Alexa? I understand you're trying to keep her relevant for when she does and when she is cleared, but what really is going on? We would like to be filled in on Alexa. Some of us really like her, some of us really hate her, but at least let us know, because she's a key part of that women's division. Stupidest part of wrestling from here forward is when Mick Foley brings out the 24/7 championship, the rated G hardcore championship that can be defended anywhere, anytime, in your sleep, when you're taking a shower, anything. It's green, folks. I like green, and that's the best thing about this belt. Titus is the first champ. Robert Roode wins, and R-Truth is now your champ, running around with it, and it is just garbage. It really is just for the mid-carders. Nothing more, nothing less. Guys, did you see the difference from 10 to 11 when it was just called Raw? Everything went black. You had Raw in red and everything. Yeah, we're really pulling for stuff like we did back in the day when Raw is war. Now you're in the war zone. Yeah. Again, Miz takes on Drew, and it just continues to be why. Joe's talking about a match, being a better man. Dom's going to step up and be the better man. Where is this all going? He wants his U.S. title back. Dom, your dad should do something better for you. What the hell? I talked about this as well, so I'll get off of it. And then we have the Kofi match. Kofi and Seth against Corbin and Bob. Heels beat the snot out of the champs. Come back, roll up victory. Brock teases that he's going to cash in, but he says, never mind. I'll announce it next week. No. We move along to Smackdown, folks. It's a long show. I talk a lot when Paul's not here because I like to hear myself talk. And nobody else is home, so I will continue to talk to myself. Shane and Elias walk out. They're talking about Money in the Bank. Elias feels he let the whole McMahon family down, and he just wants to prove that he's there for them. He's there. He'll work it out. And Shane's like, you know what? You'll get a match later on tonight. I'll be in your corner. Elias is like, I'll be in your corner at Super Showdown. Shane's like, no. Doesn't need to happen. A little bit of a drink. And New Day comes out, actually in the ring. Kofi says it's a special night. And this was cool. This was a little funny segment. They brought somebody else out that was a real skinny Big E, but then Big E actually does come back. I don't know if this was supposed to have been mentioned, but Woods does say that he's not cleared to wrestle yet. He is just back. And you'll see that plays into storyline later on, but Big E comes back and he says he's happy to be back. He missed everybody as he was gone for 6 long weeks, but he really still loves Becky Lynch's mom. I love that they actually brought this onto the show, and if you guys don't know about it, please do some research. Big E really loves Becky Lynch's mom. It gets a little graphic, and it's fun. KO comes out, Sammy comes out, setting up for a match for later on. KO walks away without really saying anything. We head into the back, and Mella. This is what I thought. Mella helped R-Truth all night get away. In the scheme of things, R-Truth walked out and 24/7 champion. I don't need to mention how many times they did this shtick on the show, but I was thinking, hey, Mella's going to turn on him. But no, Mella knows she's got a good man. Stand by your man, Mella. Stand by your man. So when you got a good one, you stand by your man. Little subtle hints, folks. Watch what happens with this because it can go anywhere. And does Mella end up standing by her man? I think in time, no. Ali against Almas was a great match. A hell of a beating. Ali took a hell of a beating from Almas. And I don't know what they're doing with him either. If you listen to anything that we do on Can Crushers, Almas is just great. Ali's going to get where I like him, but I'm not there yet. Almas is good. I think Vega did a great job last night. People were like, what the hell did Vega do? I think she did just enough. She was just around. She caused a little bit of a havoc. I like her as the business partner, as a manager. It's just a little different shtick there that she is at least around causing havoc. Guys, this match could go on and on and on. I'd watch it again. But a surprise roll-up gives Almas the victory. Mandy and Sonya against Mella and Truth. Sonya gets involved. Mella does hit a few moves, and the locker room clears out, and all hell breaks loose. Match is thrown out. R-Truth is carrying Mella out like, I don't know, something, whatever. Bayley says that She's happy that she did this. She'd do it all over again. She created her own path. She's moved past the hugs, and now it's Bayley time. She was also in there, and she said something to Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch is like, after I get done taking care of Lacey, I can come back and get my title. I don't hope that happens. I don't hope it. No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hope it. Nothing. I want these two to stay, keep them separated is what I want. You got to keep them separated. Yeah. So we get Sammy against Kofi. Big E was taken out before the match, so Wood stays back there with him. Kofi is really taking it to Sammy. Kofi wins with no funny business. I was actually shocked about that. Heyman does make his way out, and he's holding the case, saying, hey, we could do this, we could do this. And then welcome freaking back Dolph Ziggler. I hate his character right now, but the beatdown that he put on Kofi was awesome. I really do. I love that he's, thrusted right back into the title hunt, and it's awesome. It really is awesome. Kofi gets stretchered out after he's just beat to shit. So, yeah, it's going to set up a match. Probably at Super Showdown. I don't know if you've realized it. That's the next pay-per-view coming up. It's going to be on a Friday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so everybody in America is going to be able to watch it. I can't even watch it that time because I will be on my way to Pittsburgh because taking wifey to Luke Bryant concert. So we will definitely be on the road. It will be a weekend watch. Elias is singing to Roman on top of a tractor trailer. Yeah, I don't know. It's for later on. Whatever. It's stupid. So we get Lacey and Flair against Becky and Bayley. Bayley is just taking a beating. Tag. Becky comes in, runs through. She kind of starts getting beat up. Bayley gets a hot tag and rolls up Flair. Yeah, Dolph comes out and he just says it should have been him. He's a crybaby, more or less. And then all ends well. Drew hits Roman with a Claymore to end the show. Yep, that's how it ends. Once again, I know. Guys, I've talked a lot. Let's listen to the English professor.
Although WrestleMania 9 is not fondly remembered, and justifiably so, it was a bad pay-per-view, it did have some nice moments. None of the matches were great, but some were good. Once Razor Ramon realized his street fighting tactics would not best Bob Backlund, the bad guy went to plan B and reversed a slam attempt into a perfect inside cradle to cleanly pin the Princeton High School Wrestling State finalist. Commentators and magazines quickly quipped that the brawler beat the wrestler with wrestling. A tag team match that was a major highlight of the event saw Fatu carry Rick Steiner on his shoulders while Samu flew off the top rope in a modified version of the Road Warriors' Doomsday device, in which Samu used a flying body press instead of Hawk's flying clothesline. But the head shrinker's plan for victory hit a wall when Rick Steiner caught Samu in midair and delivered a belly-to-belly suplex off of his cousin's shoulders. Scott jumped into the ring to keep Fatu at bay while Rick got the pin. Although their rematch at WrestleMania 10 was better, Bret Hart and Yokozuna still had an enjoyable title match at WrestleMania 9. In the end, Hart applied the sharpshooter to Yokozuna's massive legs. Just lifting the huge Polynesian's lower body off of the mat was an amazing feat, but twisting his legs and holding him in position showed the Hitman had underrated power. I was sure Yokozuna would concede, and my all-time favorite wrestler was going to keep his title and continue his unparalleled pace of title defenses. But just before Yokozuna could utter his surrender, Mr. Fuji doused salt into the eyes of the WWF champion. A white cloud hovered over the Hitman's head as he crumbled to the mat and frantically rubbed his eyes. Yokozuna dropped down onto the best there ever was, and 3 seconds later, the Sumo Grand Champion was the WWF Heavyweight Champion. I was disappointed but hopeful as I pondered the possibility of a rematch. Pedro Morales was the first Mr. Everything, but could Bret Hart become the first Mr. Double Everything? I chose to focus on these 3 matches as a positive experience rather than the match which included multiple doinks with water-squirting flowers and removable body parts that doubled as weapons. I ignored the painful lack of action between The Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez, whose only attraction as a wrestler was that he was very tall. I even forgave the senseless Tatanka Shawn Michaels finish, in which a match that had the potential to be great ended abruptly in a disqualification when the Intercontinental Champion Boy Toy once again refused to do business. But the event wasn't finished. The unforgivable was yet to come. Hulk Hogan ran to the ring to check on Bret Hart and was mocked and challenged by Mr. Fuji. Hulk, being the good-hearted man that he is, refused to accept the challenge and instead chose to help his, mark air quotes, friend back to the locker room. But the Hitman insisted that the Hulkster answer the challenge. After double-checking with Hart and getting a second opinion from the fans, Hulk rushed the ring. This time, Mr. Fuji's Salt missed its target and caught the new world champion right in the face. Hogan dropped a leg and was champion for a fifth time. Whether it was Vince McMahon actually acknowledging that the fans were bored with this tired act or a contractual dispute, regardless, 70 days later, with 0 title defenses during that time, Hulk Hogan dropped the title back to Yokozuna. When the Can Crushers say we'd like to see some elements of old school wrestling incorporated into today's product, we're talking about fun characters, storylines based on wrestling, meaningful title reigns, and matches with moves and holes that ultimately strive to tell a compelling story. We do not mean that we'd like to see a part-timer return unannounced and steal the biggest prize of the event. This past Sunday's Money in the Bank was much better than WrestleMania 9. I was able to forget about Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio being rushed through another bad match, with Joe losing the United States Championship, even though his shoulder was off the mat in plain sight of the referee. I swallowed another throat cramming of Roman Reigns. I tolerated another Shane McMahon match that would have been better had it featured anyone not named Shane McMahon. I did all of that because, unlike WrestleMania 9, there were parts of Money in the Bank that were great. Within seconds of the start of the Universal title match, I was enthralled. Corey Graves added masterful commentary as he explained the feeling out process between the champion and his challenger. Both wrestlers were content to deliver singular moves rather than combinations because, as Graves informed us, they wanted to give each other some space. Knowing full well what the other competitors' capabilities were, they did not want to rush into an error. The stakes were way too high. Both AJ Styles and Seth Rollins showed us what it means to perform between moves. It's unfair for us fans to demand constant action without allowing the performers a chance to breathe. But a chance to breathe is still a chance to entertain. Styles and Rollins showed grit, determination, frustration, and anger on their faces and in their body language when they were in between moves and pins. Prior to the handshake, I kept incorrectly guessing what was about to happen. Styles is turning. Okay, no. Styles is about to leave. Oh, Seth is going to turn on him. I was pretty certain Lacey Evans would not leave with the Raw Women's Championship, even though she may become my favorite woman on either roster. She has made a full commitment to a fun character. Her clear 3 count but no count kept me guessing if one of the ladies or the referee missed something. But as our good buddy Al Snow says, it's about making them guess what's real. If it was an error, it was a believable error. As the referee, sometimes in any sport, will position himself to where he thinks the action is going and maybe misses where the action actually is. Becky can snag that disarmer from anywhere. The referee, knowing Lynch's repertoire, positioned himself for the reversal and may have missed a pin. An otherwise entertaining match allows me to forgive that misstep. Charlotte Flair, making her way to the ring, kept both major possible finishes on the table. Becky could rise above the odds and successfully defend both titles in consecutive matches, or Charlotte would take advantage of a fatigued champion and wrest the belt away from her. In brilliant heel wrestling fashion, with all of the odds already clearly in her favor, Charlotte still took a shortcut when Lacey Evans interfered and hit Lynch with the woman's right. But, like Yokozuna, Charlotte should have quit while she was ahead. Her post-match scuffle with Lynch and Evans allowed Money in the Bank winner Bayley to rush the ring and cash in her briefcase. This was another intriguing story that kept me guessing what would happen next. I thought Bayley would take advantage of a beaten Lynch and pin the man, causing her to really lose both belts in one night. Instead, the Hugger dropped the Macho Man elbow on the Queen and took the Smackdown Women's title. In a nice touch of irony, Charlotte Flair lost her 9th world title to the finisher used by the man whom her father defeated for his 9th world title. as long as we don't get into revisionist history and all the things Ric Flair did on certain nights to get out of the arena alive. The WWE Championship match was probably the weakest of the great matches, but Kofi Kingston and Kevin Owens can still hang their hats on a very good effort and a story well told. There's nothing wrong with a tale of betrayal and revenge ending after one match, but there's still a possibility of more to come in this feud. And the celebration that followed kept me wondering how much longer Xavier Woods will remain loyal to his New Day brother. But the event wasn't finished. The unforgivable was yet to come. The men's Money in the Bank had some pulverizing high spots, but was otherwise unimpressive. These multiple competitor ladder matches turn out to be overly choreographed dance recitals or reckless schmozzes. But what I really don't understand is the amount of time it takes a wrestler to climb a ladder. Whether it's to build anticipation or give the other performers a chance to get to their ready positions, wrestlers would choose to look at the ladder for several moments before slowly making their ascent. They'll reach for the briefcase when they're only halfway up the ladder. And once there, they sometimes stop for no apparent reason. The reason Razor Ramon is a 4-time Intercontinental Champion and not a 3-time champion is because in a ladder match at a house show, he climbed the ladder like a fully capable professional athlete. Jeff Jarrett missed his spot to tip over the ladder or pull Razor down to the ring, so Scott Hall made a logical executive decision and pulled down the belt. Mustafa Ali stood at the top of the ladder with no challengers in sight. The briefcase was his for the taking when Brock Lesnar's music played. The momentary distraction is understandable, but Ali recovered his concentration quickly. He still had time to grab the briefcase as Lesnar made no attempt to hurry to the ring. Rather than intercept Lesnar, the other wrestlers decided to continue with their naps outside the ring. Ali waited patiently for Lesnar to get in the ring and knock him off the ladder. A slow, careful climb later, and Lesnar was the Money in the Bank winner. The All-American superhero with the thunderous leg drop had a great run, but the fans let him know when it was time for a change. I firmly believe the fans have spoken about Brock Lesnar. I have yet to meet a Brock Lesnar fan. I have yet to read a comment on a message board in support of him. And yet here he is, back in our wrestling lives. Hopefully Vince will listen to us, or there'll be some sort of contract dispute, and we never see Lesnar again. And in today's English Tip of the Week, we'll discuss the difference between a metaphor and a simile. While both a metaphor and simile make comparisons, the key difference is that a metaphor states that something is equal to something else, while a simile uses like or as for the comparison. For example, love is a battlefield is a metaphor because it directly states that love is a battlefield. But life is like a box of chocolates is a simile because it uses like. When Ric Flair tells us, "I'm Space Mountain," is that a metaphor or a simile? Is Rick telling us he's like Space Mountain, or is he telling us that he is Space Mountain? He's telling us that he is Space Mountain. A metaphor makes a direct comparison, while a simile uses like or as. Since there's no like or as, this example is a metaphor. Ric Flair is Space Mountain. When Magnificent Morocco got some much-needed rest on the shores of Sunset Beach with Mr. Fuji and surrounded himself with gorgeous bikini-clad women, Morocco said, "You ever look up and see a monkey fall out of a tree? That's Jimmy Snuka." And the girls giggled. Was Morocco's joke a metaphor or a simile? Let's take a look at the context clues. Did Morocco say the monkey looks like Jimmy Snuka? Did he say a monkey falling out of a tree is as if Jimmy Snuka was falling off at the top rope? No. He said the monkey falling out of the tree is Jimmy Snuka. Once again, this is a metaphor. When Uncle Elmer kissed his new bride on Saturday night's main event, Vince cheered, "All right, Jesse, what do you think of that?" And the body responded with, "Look at that. It looks like two carp in the Mississippi River going after the same piece of corn." Was this a metaphor or a simile? Was Ventura saying that Hillbilly Jim's new aunt and uncle were two carp in the Mississippi River going after the same piece of corn? Or did he say they were like two carp in the Mississippi River going after the same piece of corn? He said they were like two carp. So this is an example of a simile. And sticking with Uncle Elmer and marine life, when Bobby Heenan says Uncle Elmer is a limpet, is he using a metaphor or a simile? Did Bobby Heenan say Uncle Elmer was like the rock-clinging marine mollusk? Or did he say Uncle Elmer is a limpet? He directly said that Uncle Elmer was a limpet. Therefore, it's a metaphor. And with that, class,
you're dismissed.
This is the heir apparent Chris LeRusso, and you're listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
I've really sucked on metaphors and simile my whole life, so that, folks, I'm just telling you, is probably all about me. Like, I'm a dinosaur in that stuff, and I don't really know, Why do you think John's always around? He's always correcting everything on me. Hey, I want to thank Pro Printing and Office, 814-834-3006. They'll print up anything. They really will. They're a great group of people over there. They did shirts for us. They did Paul's wedding invitation, broski invitations, whatever. Nonetheless, they will do everything. 814-834-3006. Collar and elbow, hats, hoodies, sweats, tees, jackets. If you love wrestling, you love wrestling attire, you love wrestling shirts, there's the collar and elbow shirts. They have some that are actually wrestler-oriented, like I have an American Dream one. There's some video game ones. Guys, they're great shirts. Really check them out, collarandelbow.com. And when you check out, type in OBW for 10% off. You'll love it. You really will. Facebook and Instagram, the both of them are at CanCrusher69. Gmail, cancrusher69@gmail.com. Getting a couple more emails in. That's awesome. Setting some stuff up. Not questions to be asked on the air, but we want some more. Send some in so we can answer them on air. We'll shout out your name and everything. Guys, website's doing great things. cancrusher69.wixsite.com/cancrushers. You can get to it via Facebook. We have it tagged on there. We have it tagged on Instagram. Go there. That's your overall spot that you'll be able to find what's going on. All the shows are there. If you don't get to them right off the bat on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever. So, yeah, you can also go to our Buzzsprout page. There's a million spots to find us. In fact, it's Alexa, Boxcast, Overcast, Bullhorn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Buzzsprout, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, we're on the WrestlePost app. That's WrestlePost app on your phone. It gives you wrestling business from everywhere, shows, just anything, merchandise, podcasts. There's other podcasts besides us, but you should just listen to us. But no, guys, it's fun. It really is. A couple shows coming up here in the near future. IWC and Chikara. It's a doubleheader at White Oak. That takes place this Saturday. It's also proving ground for the new students that just graduated from Iron City Wrestling Academy. May 25th, again, get on IWCWrestling.com. Get your tickets. You can get them at the door. Of course, guys, this weekend is Double or Nothing. Everybody knows the card. Everybody knows what's going on. If you've not watched or followed AEW for Double or Nothing, I don't know why you haven't. This is huge. Saturday night, I have some stuff going on, a baseball game, this, that, and the other in Kentucky. I will find a way to watch it. We will get our perspectives on it. The card's everywhere online. If you want to watch it, you can watch it on all your pay-per-views. I'm going to watch it on Bleacher Report live stream. So there's ways. Guys, find it, watch it. Root on Britt Baker, root on Cody Rhodes. It starts. AEW starts this weekend, folks. There will be a little bit of a gap, and then they're back instantly on TV in a couple months. So make sure you get out there, support AEW. You're going to see a change. You are going to see a change, and like I said, it starts this weekend. The English professor is even buying the pay-per-view. So that's how much it tells you that, holy hell, something big. Soup is going to, everybody, all Can Crushers, of course, are watching this, but it is something big. Something big is going to happen. It's going to change the wrestling world. No garbage tip. I'm going to leave that off. That's Paul's favorite segment, so no song or anything. But we are to the finals of the semifinals of the Legit Badass tournament. Tomorrow and Friday is our. That's the correction right there for. We'll have matches. We're going to take off Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday will be the finals of the Legit Badass. Right now we're going to have Haku against Roddy Piper, and then we're going to have Andre the Giant coming in and taking on Terry Bam Bam Gordy. So guys, watch for that on our Facebook. Again, just so much going on. Make sure you check out on Facebook a lot next week. We're going to be coming in live at random times. We really will, depending on what's going on, where we are. The following Saturday on June 1st, we'll talk about this a little bit next week on the podcast as well. Maybe we'll have some OVW people sliding in to our DMs telling us more and what we can expect. But next Saturday, June 1st, watch, because we are going to have a Facebook party. We will just be down there shooting the combine, talking with wrestlers, talking OVW wrestling, just blowing this up. So guys, if you want to watch it, continue to follow us on Facebook. I want to thank everybody for the great support. Everybody's liking the Facebook page. If I could reach out and give all of you a high five, we are blowing up. It's awesome. I love the support. I love the interaction that we have had. Damn, when I come back from vacation or workation or OVW-cation, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be our year anniversary, and hopefully the other Can Crushers kind of put something together when I'm away. Calling you out, Paul. Calling you out, John. Calling you out, Colin. Calling you out, Pat. Soup. Come on, guys. Help hook me up. Maybe some cake or something sent to the house. I don't know. So, nonetheless, guys, thanks for listening this week, and make sure you continue to follow wrestling. Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things. It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot. See you on Friday with a Can Crusher Spotlight. It's Jinx.